Not 11:15 p.m. a.m. Oh my God. What the hell was I thinking?
What were
We're
you
live.
thinking exactly?
Doesn't matter what time I set this podcast and stream for. We are live now. The Denver Broncos just got a victory, a win in London against the Jacksonville Jaguars. It was not pretty, Will. It was all kinds of ugly. But they figured out a way to win. Nathaniel Hackett saves his job for another week, possibly.
What's the exchange rate on a on a win in England? Is it like 1.15 victories?
Yeah.
I think it should count
1.5
more.
wins.
Even though it's against the Jaguars, it should probably count as a little bit more.
Yeah. Is this the best victory you've ever felt against a bad football team?
Oh yeah, easily. I don't think the Jags are it's not like beating the Jags last year. That truly meant nothing. This is a team that's clearly trying to win. So yeah, I think this was meaningful. It's not bittersweet in any way. I think if you're someone who watched this victory and is upset that it means more Nathaniel Hackett, like no offense, but you're kind of a loser. You should always be rooting for your team and for your coach to do well because the simplest path to success is just straight ahead.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Yeah. It was looking bad, honestly. The first 4 drives, it was looking really bad. We're going to get into this victory. We're going to celebrate appropriately. This is the That's Good Broncos podcast. I'm Brandon Perna here with Will Keys. Today's episode sponsored by benchwarmerbrew.com. That's my coffee company. We just dropped new mugs there. Check that shit out. And DraftKings. Use code DNVR when you sign up over at DraftKings, and you'll get all of their exclusive offers.
DNVR.
Yeah. So, okay. First part of this game, I was like, this is bad. Nothing changed. They didn't get any better. Somehow they look worse. 3 and out after 3 and out after 3 and out. The Jags score a touchdown. There's penalties. Justin Simmons gets dinged for taunting. Like, everything was horrible. I think the first half, the Broncos had 10 penalties. And then Justin Simmons basically changed the course of the game by intercepting Trevor Lawrence on the goal line. Dumb throw by Trevor Lawrence. Simmons jumps up, prevents a touchdown. The Broncos would have went down 14-0 at that point, and I don't think they bounced back from it. After that, they put together some drives. They scored 3 touchdowns in this game. Haven't seen that shit forever. Greg Dulcich was one drive was basically all Greg Dulcich, and then a 1-yard Melvin Gordon touchdown.
I want to give I think Highlight Heaven pointed this out, but Dulcich on that one drive had more yards than Kyle Pitts has had in the last 3 weeks.
Ooh.
He had three receptions for 78 yards, and he outproduced Kyle Pitts right there.
Yeah. Somebody during the live stream of the game asked, what's been a bigger disappointment, Kyle Pitts or the Russell Wilson situation? I was like, hey, that's not comparable, man. Not comparable. Thank you, sir, random guy.
It really does. It does feel weird. It feels good.
Yeah. I was just prepared to lose that game, the entire game. All the way to the point until the Broncos scored. Even after the K.J. Hamler play, I was like, they're gonna fuck this up.
Yeah.
And they almost did. So game is on the line. Okay. The Jaguars, they take a lead changing touchdown. They go up 17-14. There's 3:40 left in the game. Broncos have 3 timeouts. You don't panic in that situation when you trust your quarterback. We don't trust Russ yet. That situation, though, he hits a 49-yard bomb to KJ Hamler. KJ gets a step of separation there. Great throw by Russ. Following play, he hits a wide open Cortland Sutton, an 8-yard pass that Sutton maybe takes down to the goal line, maybe scores, or very least converts. but Sutton drops the ball right there. And that's been this season, right? That's been every game this season where
Right.
we just keep shooting ourselves in the foot. Like as soon as a guy you trust to make a play has an opportunity to make a play, he fucks it up somehow. And I was like, I'm not going to get ahead of myself, but this is going to be the play that we go, okay, then the Broncos get a penalty, and then they get another penalty, and they can't even kick a field goal to tie it. Instead, they persevere. Russell Wilson converts a first down with his legs. Latavius Murray, a couple runs. They score the game, the lead-taking touchdown, run out the clock. So Russ came in clutch. Haven't really seen him do that this year in these close winnable games. Huge throw to K.J. Hamler. After the game, K.J. Hamler jumps on Russ's back, shows him some love. It's one of those things that I think is more significant than we can, like,
Right.
Russ needed that. Russ publicly needed to have a teammate show him some fucking support and some love. Happened to be KJ, who was visibly frustrated when things started to get really bad. Loved that. And they get the win. That's kind of how it happened.
Yeah, it also looked like on the go-ahead touchdown with Melvin Gordon, the first one. Or maybe it was the Latavius Murray one, but you could see Russ after he gave him the ball, like celebrating, like it really meant something to him.
That was
that was cool to see.
I think that was the Murray touchdown at the end.
Yeah.
Because
so that was I don't know,
like
that
this,
just meant
right?
something.
He was like,
yeah.
He was like punching the ground and screaming.
And he hit
More
the
animated than
let's
you usually
ride.
see him.
He gave us full Broncos country let's ride baby at the end.
Yeah.
On ESPN Plus, $7.99 per month. But he hit him with the full let's ride baby and looked into the camera and pointed like, don't you make fun of me anymore. These high knees, they're worth it.
Damn right. Yeah, that let's ride is essentially the closest thing you'll ever see Russell Wilson do to a middle finger.
Yeah. I don't know. I love that. I want to see him fired up. Look, he played well today outside of the first few stages of the game. At the end of the day, he averaged 8.5 yards per attempt, which is I think up there with the Raiders game as far as his best performance.
Yeah, there's still
he didn't throw a ton of touchdowns, and the Jeudy one is like a cheap Patrick Mahomes style touchdown, but he was impressive, I thought.
Oh, is that Jeudy one? That counted as a passing TD?
Yeah.
We'll take it.
There's still why not?
There's still a lot in terms of Russell Wilson being able to play better.
No, what are you talking about?
Obviously. It's very streaky because there's like 4 3-and-outs to start the game or whatever. I don't know.
That's who he is, though. That's who he is. We kind of have to accept that at some point.
You just survive the streaks. And you can with a defense that's this good. And there's 2 plays. There's another play where, he couldn't buy an extra second to see KJ Hamler coming open or didn't see him or whatever. And there's also a really bad play where the check down swing pass was wide open. And of course, like that's the one time he doesn't look there. It would have been like an easy first down. So there's still some issues in terms of, will Russ ever see the full field? I don't know. 2 nice deep shots in this game to KJ, 1 to Dulcich. Yep. As long as they can hit a couple of those every game. And the one area where they could eventually get better, maybe with Marlon Mack, is having some runs go for over 20 yards. I don't think
one of these days
still didn't have it, but you saw what that meant to the Jags with Travis Etienne. Like if they didn't have Etienne getting over 150 rushing yards in this game, they wouldn't have been able to hang in it, I don't think. And that's the one thing the Broncos offense still misses, even in this victory. But fudge, it's felt like such a weight off our shoulders in terms of how much shit we got to take as a fan base for a week.
Yeah, no kidding.
More than just like getting the win and maybe being competitive after the bye, possibly. Who knows? The schedule is going to get way harder. It was just the Jags. They're going to have to do this against, the Chiefs. and the Chargers
Yeah,
and
we
the
also have the
Raiders
Saints.
again.
We have the Saints and the Panthers coming up too,
Yeah, those are, who knows what those teams are right now.
or maybe not the Saints, the Panthers for sure.
So, a lot of ugly to start this game. Two questions. One, Lloyd Cushenberry leaves the game with an injury. They moved Glasgow to center and kind of felt like they started playing better on the offensive line after that.
I would have to agree with that.
Like, Cushenberry's kind of been a disappointment.
I think that is putting it mildly. Yeah.
So there might be something there in terms of how you arrange the offensive line moving forward. Other question. Are the Broncos going to trade anybody?
Man, I personally, I don't think that this game should impact whether or not you trade someone like Bradley Chubb, because, and it would hurt because you're taking a piece away from a defense. Although with how Nick Bonito looked today, he looked pretty good, and I think that gives you a little bit of hope that him, Browning, and Gregory, once they all get back, like they can hold it down for a little bit. But in the short term, it is kind of troubling. Gregory should be back soon too. Although that's not the point of what I'm saying. I know Schefter said that someone was willing to give a first-round pick for Bradley Chubb, and I think like you have to do that if that's on the table, as long as it's not like a division rival.
It kind of, if you can get a first, it seems like that's the one you have to do.
Yeah, and
it seems like you keep everybody else that was you were talking about trading, except for Albert O. Albert O got even more expendable after his performance from Dulcich. So
yeah, I mean, we should talk about that too. Like, Dulcich has been not just as advertised, but better.
Yeah, he really
does give this offense a different dimension. I don't know, like he kind of is looking like what I thought Fant and Albert O were going to be, except like way quicker than either of them. Minus the injury.
He's like a gazelle out there.
He's a seam stretcher. He's a real seam stretcher.
No, he is. Both of he almost
had a touchdown too.
What's that?
He almost had a touchdown too.
Yeah, he got tackled on the 1 yard line.
Yeah.
He has a seam stretcher. That big play to him right down the seam. Also, to start that drive, so the Broncos were backed up on the 2 yard line, Will, as we predicted would happen in our Madden prediction episode.
Yeah.
The Jags had a perfect punt.
Yep.
And that drive was a touchdown drive. And it started with Russell Wilson seeing Greg Dulcich open in the middle of the field.
Isn't that something?
Yeah, love it. Where's Dulcich's stats? I just wanted to put those up. 4 catches,
4 for
87 yards.
Beautiful.
Jeudy played. He's had back-to-back good games. So I think you keep him, obviously. And the other thing I like about Dulcich is he's had 3 good games in a row. And it's been with Russ, it's been with Rippon, and it's been with Russ. So
he's just good.
Yep. He's just good.
It's about time we hit on a tight end.
Yes.
And they're not supposed to be good early, especially like when we think about it, like, yeah, it's game 8, but for Dulcich, this has been games 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah. Well, I think part of that is they're not like asking him to do things he's not good at right now.
Yeah. Which you have to give, the coaches credit for that.
Yeah.
I don't know why they can't do that with Albert O, but yeah, who knows?
Yeah.
We don't need him.
Where things are looking up. And if you think you can make your things look up, why don't you try it with DraftKings Sportsbook? Now, I know I've been telling you to take the under on all the Broncos games. That might have been bad advice. I don't know for sure what the line was there. But you've also got basketball back. NBA fans, DraftKings is an official sports betting partner of the National Basketball Association. And you can place a $5 bet on NBA money line and get $200 in free bets if your team wins. In addition to the usual bets, everyone can boost their winnings up to 100% with DraftKings stepped up same game parlays. That's basketball, that's football, whatever you want to do. If there's a bet for high knees on the plane ride home,
Take it.
take the over, guys. Take the over. Bigger payouts than ever with DraftKings Sportsbook. That's why we do it. Use code DNVR. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Again, code DNVR. Make any $5 bet this week and get $200 in free bets if your team wins. Only at DraftKings Sportsbook with our code. Links below. Minimum age and eligibility restrictions apply. See show notes for details. What else from this game you like, Will? Nick Bonito was one I wanted to talk about. I thought he played well, got a little bit of pressure, and also he had a run stop or two. So it was kind of like, okay, he can.
Yeah, encouraging, I think, to see your top 2 picks in the draft do well at the same time.
Yeah.
It gives
and they're both late thirds, third and fourth.
Yeah, I think they're both thirds, if I remember correctly.
Oh, yeah. What was your Halloween costume, Will? Because isn't that what the stash is for?
Yeah, I was Ken Bone from the, Ken Bone. Can you pull up a picture of Ken Bone from the 2016 presidential debates?
Oh yeah. Okay. Ken Bone. Oh, wow. Did anybody know who the fuck you were?
Yeah, I had I had the glasses on, and I had a microphone and a red quarter zip. No, yeah, it was good. It was good.
Here we go. Just so everybody knows, this was Will.
Enter the Bone Zone.
The Bone Zone.
Yep.
The Broncos were in the Bone Zone today, baby.
That was me.
Nice.
I would like to say about this defense that you obviously could run on them today, and then Breece Hall broke that long touchdown run last week. But they're just like, what's the last time you feel like they got dominated through the air? It just doesn't happen. Throw. No one can throw on this team.
No, and they're the touchdown that Simmons picked off, it was set up by 2 defensive penalties.
Yeah.
I think it was the same drive. Damari Mathis was illegal contact. I thought they were given a first down there. And then Pat Surtain had the little hug in the end zone. So they got, fresh set of downs from the 1 yard line.
Mm-hmm.
So that was like the only time that I was like, oh, that's kind of, and I don't even want to call it bad.
This team on defense, the only thing slowing them down.
Yeah. So what'd you say it was the only thing slowing them down?
Penalties
and bad luck, because they had another strip sack that just the ball found a way to bounce right back to Jacksonville.
Everybody's like, yeah, eventually that luck will turn around, and I'm not sure it's going to.
Will it? Will it?
When is the dude? The dude from like the Big Lebowski. Yeah. Nice. I thought about doing that as well.
Yeah, so maybe a little bit of better luck on for the Broncos defense would help, but they're going to be in every game, assuming the Broncos defense can do this against the top tier passing teams, and we really haven't gotten many tests in that department. So we'll see, but I
mean, I think going against like the Chargers was a little bit of a test.
Yeah, that's fair.
And I'd say it's like they passed. Aside from
passed
the Damari Mathis penalties.
Yeah, and he had 1 this game. K'Wan Williams was really good, and also he has the game-sealing interception.
Yeah.
With the fucking club on his hand. Like, one hand has torn ligaments in it, and he's playing through it, which is, tough as hell. I heard his nickname is Shark, by the way, in my comments. I don't know if that's true, but it's a cool nickname.
I like it.
And, yeah, he gets the game-sealing interception with a club hand. So it's like all those guys on the back end are playing well. The defensive line has been good no matter who's on the edge. They've been through all the edge rushers.
I think, it's exactly interesting. I don't think you can have defensive holding if everybody has a club on their hand.
Let's do it. Club the whole team.
If we can teach them to catch with the club, but they can't hold because obviously you don't have fingers. That might be the secret. It might work. Maybe try it with Mathis at least.
Yeah. He's playing better though.
I like him.
He's been solid. With one win, I agree. I think if you can get a first for Chubb, you kind of take that at this point.
Yep.
And it's just like, they need something out of the run game. That's the only way they're a buyer, it feels like.
Yeah. If you could get I don't think there's any really on the market, but if you could get a really good guard or center.
Oh, yeah.
But I just don't know of any guards or centers that are being shopped right now.
No. We know Alvin Kamara has been shopped a little bit.
Yeah.
That'd be a dream, but
he's not going to fix your run game necessarily. He'll make plays, but he's not going to – it's not addressing the root of the problem.
Yeah, which is the line. The line would probably open up. Is it the line or the way that they're schemed to try and block for the run? Neither one of us are smart enough to answer that, but
no.
Probably
you should ask someone who's smart.
Yeah.
But I don't know anybody like that. Maybe Derek Wolfe would know.
He might, yeah. He played football.
Would. So I've heard. Yeah.
He played in the NFL.
Let's see. Yeah, I mean I respect that even though the run game wasn't working, they still ran the ball 28 times for 101 yards. So they committed to it. They got they're close to being fully balanced, which is not always the goal, but there's something to be said, I think, about just kind of churning out yards.
Yeah.
And it clearly helped them at the goal line too.
Russell Wilson had the longest run of the day at 10 yards.
Yep.
Gordon, 9. Murray, 9. K.J. Hamler, 1 rush for 9 yards. And actually, the K.J. Hamler 9-yard one was probably the most impressive because they finally do the jet sweep or end around and they give it to KJ, but the Jags had it played perfectly. He had to run backwards 5 yards. I thought it was going to be a 5-yard loss, but you saw his speed.
Yeah.
You know why they drafted him. He gets around the edge and he turns what would have been a loss into a 9-yard. Yeah, exactly, a 9-yard run. And but this is what's really, I feel like, killing the offense from being able to score these 3 touchdowns on a week-to-week basis.
Yeah.
That one rip Etienne had that was 49 yards was huge. And a couple 12, 13, 14, 15-yard runs in there. That's what they need. I don't know where they're going to get it. You could say Kareem Hunt maybe, but he's not that style of runner. He's more just a punishing type of guy.
Yeah, and the Browns have always been a great run blocking O-line too.
Yeah.
So it's really hard to tell.
But Murray and Gordon late in the game, they had their chunk yards and it helped set up, the comeback. Even though the Broncos should have just pulled away with the lead, that's what should have happened. They had opportunities because the defense put the clamps down on Jacksonville.
We're not here to nitpick a win.
No,
for sure.
We got it. It felt good. It felt so good. Dude, I had almost 9,000 people in my live stream watching that shit.
I saw that.
Best
it's
stream
incredible.
ever.
For an early morning game too.
Yeah. So it felt good. I was ready for a collapse, and we got a surprise victory. Now the Broncos go into a bye. I don't know what that means. I don't know if they'll come back better, but
what kind of video do we make now? We can't do the worst game ever.
I know.
Maybe just the best game ever. I don't know.
The best game ever.
The most, yeah.
The best game I've ever seen. Wink, wink.
It's the only way to go.
Yeah, I think that's what we got to do.
I like it. Yeah. You have any other observations?
No, I felt good about this win. I'm excited. I mean, I'm not overly optimistic, but
does it feel like a turning point a little bit, maybe?
It could be.
It could be.
I think more than anything, it might galvanize the team a little bit. And also it feels like Russ got some confidence in that game.
Yeah. You
It
saw
didn't
that
feel
on the
like
deep
he,
shot to Hamler for sure.
yeah, like
That
it
was
felt like
the
he didn't
confident
have
throw.
those in the other wins or have that
Agreed.
mile high knees forever. But yeah, we'll see. Like, obviously, he can still get a lot better. And I think, like, the deep ball, both those passes to Dulcich and Hamler, it's kind of like debunks the narrative that Russ is like washed.
Yeah,
Like,
that's so stupid.
that's for quarterbacks who physically can't do it anymore. That's kind of like what I'm looking for is like Russ to consistently show he can't make the throws. He can.
Of course
His
he can.
issue's been seeing all the throws, and maybe that's just been an issue his whole career that the Seahawks have covered up well. But you see like a guy who's willing to take those shots, and if they connect enough times in a game, you're going to rack up some yards, some big plays, and you can succeed that way. It's they just got to do that consistently. Run game gets better. The offense will never be great, but it could be good enough to win a lot of games if the defense keeps playing at the same level too. So
yeah, and this defense is like, I don't think we've given them quite enough credit like for how out of their mind they've played this year. Like the Raiders game aside, it's been like Evero. I don't know if there's an assistant coach of the year, but Evero should be right at the top of the list. Like he might get a head coaching job this offseason.
Yeah, he better not.
I hope not for our sake, but you know,
Um,
he's playing. He's got the boys playing like that.
yeah. Here's the difference. Like, look at Trevor Lawrence and Russell Wilson. Both complete 18 passes. Lawrence threw one more, which was one more pick. But the difference is what 100.
He had twice as many yards per attempt, basically.
Yeah, 119 extra yards. Like, if Russ just gets just a little bit more efficient, then the passing game's working. That's what we're talking about. The passing game's working pretty well. So that's a reason to be optimistic. Oh yeah, Josie Jewell was back. He made some plays. Oh man, AJ Brown, 2 touchdowns. Oh, that's got to be good for one of my fantasy things. Anyway, I'm done. I'm going to start working on the Broncos recap video. Cool. We got best and worst to do. Will looks like he had a late night. He had to get up early for football. So we're going to let you guys go. Appreciate you watching. Will, any final words?
Yeah. Let's ride.
Let's fucking ride.
Let's ride.
Let's fucking ride. I've eaten my Danger Witch. I'm 4 days in a row in. Just finished it today. Not bad. It's not bad, guys.
I might have to pick one up myself.
Yeah. Sutton got to be better. All right. Broncos country.